สวัสดีค่ะคุณซาร่า
Sawadika Kun Sapanson, how are you?
มี anyone else sorry let me close out อ๋อ
And
คุณซารีสวัสดีนะคะ
Yes.
you've met him before, I think.
Yeah, I
Supanson,
heard.
yes.
I met him a few weeks ago and
Yes.
ค่ะสวัสดีคุณจนทานแล้วก็ทุกๆคนนะคะ สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีท่านอาจารย์ด้วยค่ะ
สวัสดีครับคุณสุภาพชง
สวัสดีครับอาจารย์
Buongiorno, Alberto.
คุณชาวคุณอัลเบอร์โตสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีคุณกาเบค่ะเดี๋ยวปิดไมค์ก่อนนะคะแป๊บนึง
สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนสวัสดีค่ะ
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์โรเนสรา
Xin chào, Kun Ha. Morning, Betty. How are you? Not morning, afternoon.
Yes. Oh, I'm very well, thanks. You too?
Good, you look well. Yes. Let's check if Ajahn is here too. Ajahn, are you here now?
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
Okay, I think we can start now. Anything anyone would like to start with? Sally, would you like to start with another good summary of what you have learnt recently in the discussions?
Thanks, Sarah. I will be listening today. Thank you.
I thought last Saturday, Ajahn made a very good point, which is quite deep and interesting, is that right and understanding cannot enjoy the impermanence of any moment, the fact that each reality arises and falls away is not the source of enjoyment because each reality is impermanent, it's unsatisfactory. However, at the moment of understanding the truth, joy arises with understanding. So it's not joyful that the Dhammas are anicca and dukkha and anatta, but learning the truth is joyful and brings more and more joy in life. So it's quite a deep point and distinction. Sometimes people have the idea that because the Buddha taught that life is dukkha, unsatisfactory, or sometimes people say suffering, that one should be miserable and that it means everything is so grim. But the point is understanding can develop, and understanding is never grim. It's a source of cheer and letting go and living at ease, not clinging to what has gone already. So I think this is a good point. And I don't know if anyone else has any comments or anything they have found helpful. One comment that Ajahn made to you after your good introduction last time, Sally, is it seems a little clearer. It seems there's a little more understanding, but not enough, never enough, because what appears is not as it really is. There's always the idea of someone or something, and only deeper and deeper understanding can let go of the idea of someone or something by understanding the truth of Dhamma at this moment. But it has to develop deeper and deeper, firmer and firmer. And without understanding of the truth, without direct understanding, there's always doubt and uncertainty and common ideas, which we've been hearing quite a bit recently in Zooms and on DSG, is the idea that we cannot say this is the truth and that is not the truth, or this truth is better than another one, and what the Buddha taught is right and what others taught is not right, and that this is disrespectful to suggest that there's only one truth. But when understanding develops deeper and deeper, less and less doubt about what is the truth, one truth.
Yes, certainly, Sarah and Ajahn, I absolutely agree that it have never been enough, our standing of Dhamma. As to myself, I think it's some very, very, a beginner. I have a lot of, ignorance, and I don't know. It has been really fortunate to be able to, come to this class and be able to listen to the true words of Buddha. At least I believe that it is a starting point. Even though, in this, whole life, I don't expect how much it can be understand, because I understand that Panya cannot be forced. It's not belong to me. It's not belong to anyone. It is depend on the conditions that's arrived. So I just really thankful for the opportunity, and I think it's far from the ignorance has been eon and eon of Geo or Sankara, and I don't know when it can be get closer to the real understanding of the reality. But what I'm really thankful is the opportunity to listen and considering on the the truth of the Dhamma. And since we touch on that, I also want to share with you as well. This morning we had been meeting with some of the Dhamma friends at the coffee, and we discussed a little bit. And there was a question, from one of the friends, in terms of what is belong to us, right now, because he listened and read, some book. There's some people comment that there's only Kusala Dhamma and Akusala Dhamma, which is belong to ones, and will go with one to the next life. But my comment to that is that I don't think that even Kusala Dhamma or Akusala Dhamma is belong to anyone, because we cannot force anything, because we know that we ourselves are the Nama Dhamma and Rupa Dhamma, and all the Dhamma, no one can force or belong to or control all of those Dhamma. If it is the case, I don't believe that even those Kusala Dhamma or Akusala Dhamma is belong to anyone. I don't know whether my understanding is correct or not, and happy to hear from you or Ajahn or Jonathan as well on this point. Thank you.
I think it's a good point, and again, it's deep. But in truth, if there is no one here, if there is no Sally now, no Sarah here, no Suchin, how can even the Kusala or the Akusala belong to you or me or anyone? Because in truth, no one there, as you say, just different namas and rupas arising and falling away. So really nothing belongs to anyone. But perhaps Jonathan or Jan or anyone else would like to add more.
Just briefly before Ajahn speaks, I think we can say it as a manner of speaking, Kali, that all that belongs to us, the Kusala and Akusala tendencies, have been accumulated. And of course, the deeds done in the past that will bring result in the future. Not wanting to quibble about the term belong to us, but those things are part of the continuum, the continuity that passes from one life to the next. And so in that sense, they all go with each other. The kusala tendencies, the akusala tendencies, and the deeds done in the past that will bring result in the future. And as I recall, kusala is described as being the true wealth that can be gained in life. Kusala is the wealth, the true wealth. So in that sense, wealth obviously attaches to the individual, or goes with the individual. So I think it depends how we understand the statement that when it's being made. Thank you. And Ajahn will be able to add some more. Thank you.
I think that the most precious moment in life is just begin to understand the truth of each moment right now. Otherwise, how can there be the understanding of anything which is not there yet, appearing now? That's why even that which now appears cannot be known at all as it is, as what Buddha had enlightened, the ultimate truth of each moment. That's why learn to understand the truth, that no one can think about it, because it's so very subtle. How subtle it is. Before seeing, there's no seeing. And then there's seeing, and then seeing gone. At moment of hearing, touching, and so on. So instantly, unknown, all day, all life. That's why learn to understand what is there in life, which is the absolute or the ultimate truth, that it can be learned to understand, to let go ignorance and attachment and the world of atta, something, situation, and so on, people and things. But in truth, study to understand the ultimate truth of one moment. Can it be anything or anyone? For example, seeing now sees. So true. What is seen is not known, and that which sees is taken for eye or snake or cat sees. But in truth, without seeing, how can there be the idea of someone or cats or dogs? So we are in the world of imagination. What is there as something? In truth, who knows that it's gone instantly as soon as it's there. For example, seeing is not hearing, but now it seems like they are together. At moment of seeing, there's hearing as well. But in truth, the ultimate truth, can that be two in a moment? Experiencing one moment, one object only. One moment, it cannot experience 100,000 things, or what are they now appearing? In truth, just one split second of a moment. What is there? Unknown. But it can be learned little by little to understand the impermanency, not as we take for life, it's not permanent, sometimes it's happy and sometimes it's not, and everything changes. That is not the ultimate truth, because how many moments of each very, very rapid reality which arises and falls away right now. Seeing this moment is not seen just a moment ago at all. And whereas that which arises and sees from this moment and gone, Where are they? Whatever is now appearing. That's why learn to understand the truth. What is the truth of life? It's just the moment of experiencing what is there through eyes, ears, nose, tongues, body, and mind. On and on and on. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, next year. Exactly. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. Not permanent at all. Just keep on arising and falling away until the end of life. All gone. Even memory about what is there in life. Not at all. Is that true? So now, what is seeing? Not known. What is hearing? Not known. But it's there. So what is it? Can anyone stop its arising? Excuse me.
I think Ajahn is pointing out that the faculty of seeing and hearing is not something that is under our control. We cannot switch it on, turn it off by our will. It's there. We not because we have called it to be in existence, but because it just happens by conditions. And that is the same with all conditioned dhammas. They happen by conditions, not by virtue of wishing them to be a certain way or anything of that nature. I'll pass it back to Ajahn.
So just begin to consider, to understand what is there in a moment. Each moment is a moment of life, unknown until it's considered, because it's there. Seeing is there now. What is it? It sees. So the function of seeing is that which sees. No one there at all. Because seeing is conditioned to arise. No one can make it arise. No one can stop its arising because it's there already now to be learned. That without the eye and that which impinge on the eye, there will never be seeing, no things around, no mountain, no sun, and anything at all. That's why just understand a moment of what is there as conditioned reality by no one, but its proper conditions. Otherwise, for example, without the eye, they cannot be seeing, without the ear, cannot be hearing. But what is seeing and what is the eye, and what is that which is seen? As hearing now, what is it without the eye base and the sound impinged on it? They cannot be hearing. It's the world of silence, no sound at all. So understand the shortness of whatever is there, short life, but in truth, short moment. Each moment is so short and then gone. That's why it conditioned the understanding of actually there cannot be anything as something or someone at all, because whatever arises gone instantly. Learn to let go, clinging and ignorance to what is clung to when there's no understanding of the truth, no matter what. It's just that which is experienced. When it's not experienced, it's not there. But memory remembers that it's there. But in truth, it cannot be there at all, because in truth, it's gone as soon as it has arisen. So we live in the world of someone and something and atta in Pali. something or someone is atta. But when it's not anything, it's just seeing. And it cannot be moment of hearing. Seeing cannot be hearing. Because seeing just arises to see and gone. Whatever arises, gone instantly. Is that true? Unknown. So learn to consider the truth of each word about the truth of what is there. As seeing is not permanent. And when there's hearing, there cannot be seeing in the same moment at all. That's why what is there gone is the world of anicca, arises and falls away, never arise again, on and on and on, endlessly. Cannot get away from the cycle of what is there arising and falling away and conditioned to arise, never be the same one. And no one there. Is it so interesting just to see, to hear, and then gone without any understanding? But there is attachment, just craving, wanting to have more and more, on and on. And in truth, it's gone instantly, no matter what we crave for it. Is that true? Just learn to understand life and the truth of life more and more, to understand that what is not known is so much in life. We can say every moment, what is there, unknown, how it comes, how it is there and gone now, unknown, until it is gradually the object of understanding little by little. For example, hearing about the truth of what is seen. It cannot be chairs or bed or curtain. It's just different colors, only different colors, one color at a time. Otherwise, how can there be the understanding that it's different? So there must be one object, one color, the other moment, another color, or it can be the same color but different. It's so pale or so bright or so dark. Everyday life can be any moment of studying, understanding the truth of what is there, even right now. What is seen, is it not color? And so many colors just cannot appear together in a moment. The moment of red, the moment of blue, how can be seen together? That's why it's a moment of seeing red, a moment of seeing blue, so quickly. How many colors now? Imagine how quickly whatever arises falls away instantly all the time, unknown. So what appears as different color, make it known as shape and form, to be remembered. It's the blanket, not the pillow. Different colors, only color, but it conditions the idea of something. So it's the world of something or many things, but in truth, it's the world of that which arises, experiences that which is experienced and gone, never to arise again. What is true? Not just to believe, but to begin to consider what is not known in life at all is each moment now. So begin to understand the nature of what is there, to realize the truth later when Panya develops and letting go ignorance and attachment and begin to be truthful to the truth. A moment is a moment of experiencing an object, only one object. So how can it be anything? what is true. So what is life? Without the reality which arises to experience, no matter what is there and then gone, there cannot be life. There cannot be seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. And that which arises but does not experience anything, different from that which arises and experience. No matter what is there, it has to experience that object, just its function, just to arise and experience, and then gone, never to return at all, not to be anyone or anything at all. And that is the world of anicca, not permanent. So begin to understand the truth, and understanding develops a little more at moment of consider the truth wisely, carefully, truthfully, that it's there but it's not known, until the Buddha, the enlightened one, with his great compassion, without his words about the truth, no one knows what is what. Years and years ago, unknown, and take it for I, but who was born? I, or a reality which experienced the object. Can that be I? Because it's gone instantly. Is this the teaching of the truth of what is there in our life? Each moment, begin to learn about the truth, and seeing, understanding is quite different from not understanding the truth at all. Just live with the idea of someone and something, situation, from day to day, from moment to moment, not understand what is there, but expect what to come and think that it can be done or it can be planned. But in truth, even at moment of planning, what is there? The tree cannot plan, the dish cannot plan, only the reality which experience an object, because it's the nature of a reality, arises to experience. Anatta, not anyone. So is it true? Whatever is real is real. And the word for what is real is Dhamma, a reality, different ones. Hatred is real when it's there, and attachment is real at moment when it's there only. When it's not that moment, it's gone. And there can be many other realities in life. Learn to understand the way it is, conditioned by accumulation from moment to moment and on, to understand that in truth, all dhammas, whatever is real, is anatta, not anything, not anyone, not any events, not any situation at all. Is that right? Can seeing be an event, situation, or it just sees? It just sees. It's not think. It cannot think. It just arises to see and then gone, because it's conditioned to arise. As soon as it has a reason, it's gone. Who can stop? Because even the moment of seeing is conditioned by not just one condition, not just the eye and not just that which impinge on the eye, but the moment of seeing pleasant thing is different from moment of seeing unpleasant thing. There must be condition to be different too. Just learn to understand life, what is there now, little by little. To understand that how far from ignorance just live with every reality conditioned, unknown, taken for a situation and I and people and things. But in truth, just the moment is there, arising and falling away instantly, conditioned the next moment instantly by different conditions to be different moments in life. Is that true? Just learn to be truthful to the truth. That's all. No one at all. It's a reality which can study, consider what is real and what is not real, what is true and what is untrue. To be truthful to the truth, because the truth cannot be changed at all. The moment of seeing is not moment of touching, not moment of hearing right now. Realities are not far away. It's one moment, no matter where. In England, in Denmark, in Thailand, in Cambodia. Hardness is hardness when it's touched. But when it's not touched, what is experienced is not hard. Is that right? When it's not moment of touching, what is experienced is not hard. Different moment, different reality. If it hasn't arisen, how can it be there to be touched? Learn to understand the way reality is by conditions. Whatever arises has to be conditioned by its proper condition to be just like that very moment, not other moment. Is it true right now? Learn to understand the truth of each moment. The moment of birth, the moment of sleep, the moment of seeing, the moment of enjoying, the moment of unpleasant feeling, pain, and so on. All are there by conditions. So, can there be anyone or anything without any ultimate reality at all? So, learn to understand what is the ultimate truth. It has its own characteristic, never be changed at all. Can anyone change the moment of hardness appearing not to be hardness? Can anyone change the sound not to be heard at that moment of hearing? Impossible. So it's not my voice, it's not anyone's voice, it's not whatever we take for something, musical instrument. In truth, it's just sound. So very short, but different sounds heard at a time, from moment to moment. Condition the idea of what is there. The sound of what? Is this life? Is it true? Can it be known? Can it let go? The clinging to that which has gone as its I. I saw just a moment ago, but instead of I, it's just a moment of seeing, arising and then gone. Can anyone find the I at moment of seeing? And when it's gone, where's the I? Where's the I? No one. At moment of touching, what is touched and what touches, different reality, not anyone at all. Is that true? Is it useful? Is it useless? Or is the ultimate truth of life at each moment of life? The moment of birth is not the moment of death. The moment of seeing is not the moment of sleeping, and so on. All are there as different dhammas, conditioned by not just one condition. But it's not known that it's there by conditions. So the idea of I can do or I will do. But where's the I, the seeing, or the object which is seen? The object which is seen is only color, different colors, visual object. So where's the I? So can you see, Kunsara? What is seen is different color. So very quickly, just one color experience at a time, but the quickness of the arising and falling away condition the shape and form of each strand of hair, or just nose, or just ears. See how rapidity the arising and falling away is there. That's why it does not appear as it is, but so it's taken for something permanent, even right now. Nothing gone, it's still there. But in truth, the ultimate truth, should it be known, it doesn't hurt to understand the truth, right? Because right understanding cannot hurt anyone, cannot harm anything. It's so true, it's so brave to know the truth, because the truth is there each moment after birth, unknown. So it's known. At that moment, no clinging to the idea of I. So when it's more accumulated, developed, it can understand directly of what is there, right there, in a moment, by conditions. So we learn about the truth of what is there each moment. So
Sawadika, Anachan. I have a question, please. A moment ago, you spoke about color, and you elaborated the different colors. Now, I'm surprised, but I've never thought about the different colors that impinges on the eye. I mean, only one color would impinge on the eye at one time. But while you were talking, I was looking around, and there's so much color. But I had not thought about.
Yeah.
That's
so,
how.
so what?
That's how
Excuse me. So what
Yes.
is true? Many color seen at once, or there must be one color is seen in a moment only.
Just one color.
Only. And if you don't say color, no word, it's so short, it appears and gone.
Yes. Yes. That's amazing. You've just. Thank you, Achan. Your words are just wonderful. Thank you.
It's the word of the enlightened one, see.
Yeah.
And how long it takes to develop parami conditions to realize the truth thoroughly.
Well, I think the more I learn with listening, the more I think it takes a longer time, because it seems like what I'm learning just gets deeper and deeper. And reading what I'm reading the commentary to the Brahmajala Sutta, and how amazing what the Buddha knew. The Buddha knew everything that can be known. But what he taught us, as they've said in the one sutta, a handful of leaves in all of the forest is what he passed on, what is needed. So, yeah, I'm just a bit blown away by how deep, how wonderful the Buddha was, and how deep the teaching is.
And this is only the first round of truth, Ariya Satya, not direct experience of this moment yet. But it's not enough just to learn about what is there and gone, because it has to be the moment of directly experience the truth. How great understanding is there. With our firm confidence, Satya Parami, so firmly, there's no condition to be aware and understand what is there right now that hasn't been heard before. But as there are more confidence of the truth, until there is condition for awareness to arise directly with understanding of the truth. So gradually, according to the understanding, the first round, just the intellectual understanding about what is there that is not permanent. But it cannot be instantly impermanent. But it is there to be learned little by little, that it's different from the other characteristics, and they cannot arise or appear together little by little. But this is the way it works. Not anyone is working, trying to do, but it's there, the understanding itself. The first pattaya, titi, sammaditi, the first factor of the path. Without sammaditi, nothing can lead to understanding the truth right now. It's not there at all. So learn to be truthful to the truth. Satya Parami, never change. More confidence that in life, daily life, touching is not known, seeing is not known, hearing is not known, but it can be heard and considered until it's more firm confidence that is there. That's the way the letting go of the wrong understanding, wrong idea is less and less at moment of understanding, because it's a function of understanding only, which can be stronger and stronger from the first level to another higher level of experiencing. The word of the truth is so true, it cannot be changed. Before seeing, there's no seeing. And after seeing, there's no seeing again. So now, before seeing, it's not seeing. So when it sees, it's gone. It can be known gradually, stage by stage, little by little. The first round of the Ariya Satya, Noble Truth, so true. Satya, Dhamma, Ariya. Dhamma is whatever is real. When there's no understanding, it cannot appear as it is, because even it's there as it is, ignorance covers up. See, only panya, right understanding from hearing and considering only, works its way. Now, not anyone. Manasikara, attention, right attention, careful attention, wise attention, begin to understand the meaning of the words of the truth. So, how deep reality now covers up by ignorance. If we don't talk about it, if there's no firm understanding that what is there is so very impermanent, all gone.
So this listening, Ajahn, listening to the Dhamma, is this Sutamaya Panya, or is that is Sutamaya Panya a well-developed Panya?
So what is Sutta Maya Panya? It's the Panya from hearing, considering, conditioned right understanding. To understand that in truth it can be realized, not just be heard, not just be firm confidence of the truth, but it can be, because before seeing there's no seeing, right? But
Right.
what can be known is only that which has a reason. When it hasn't a reason yet, it cannot be known. That's why it's quite wrong and so very subtle not to go away from this moment. Ignore it and think about the next one this evening or on and on. But this is like the key of truth. What can be known? It's only that which has a reason now. Only because it's gone. That's why the understanding of the truth gradually drawing one's away, not away from what is there so close. The source of the world, seeing is here, hearing is here, thinking is here, the world is here. Without what is there so close, there's no world, there's no idea, there's nothing. That's why we think about other things, never think about that which is there right now, seeing where is it, not far away, so close. So what is seen is only that which can be known because it's so close. And we have heard a lot of many times about seeing. It's not anyone, it's conditioned without the eye base and that which impinges on it and the other condition that cannot be seen right now. But it's not yet moment of seeing appears as it is. See, that's why right understanding can understand how subtle it is. All depends on the very gradual understanding, which letting go each moment of understanding. So reality can appear as it is. To the panya, which does not cling to it as usual as trying to know it, or any form of attachment, which takes one away from what is there so close now. That's why we can discuss about the truth, because there are so many different conditioned ideas about what is there. But the truth can be realized, but stage by stage. This is moment of hearing, considering about the truth of it, to have more confidence of the truth of what is that which is not permanent at all. It cannot be taken for anything last at all. So just live by conditions, seeing the most precious moment, begin to understand the truth that is so deep. So be careful to consider the truth until more confidence, which at that moment letting go of the idea of self unknowingly, because beginning to understand what is what, which is there now. It can be learned any moment when time comes, when there is enough conditions to attend to the characteristic which has been heard. about what is there, little by little, by conditions. So very patient to let go wrong understanding and clinging to what is there, which is not there anymore. Great patience to be truthful to the truth, Satya Barami, Adidana Barami, firm confidence of the truth. What is there has to be known, not that which is not there. Trying to make it be known, impossible. So this moment is patient too, and Viriya too, see, unknown, no one. And next time, a little more understanding and confidence of what is there, little by little, until it's moment of the second round of the Arya Satya, Patipatti, before the last, the third round. Many states, many levels, many degrees of understanding.
And I feel like this, the more I hear, the more interest there is in hearing more, and almost like it's wanting to hear more, but knowing that hearing more is beneficial, because there's less, I don't know, less getting angry with other people, just seeing other people as being like me in a way.
See the difference between kusala and akusala when panya is there.
Yes.
Parami develops gradually. Patient parami, not to get angry as before.
Yes.
Having more kindness, compassion to those who do not understand the truth.
Yes.
Until it's daily life, see. But before it is understanding of what is there in daily life, it is so truthful, whether it's there today or not today yet. No moment of thinking about Dhamma, or it begins to have the idea that what is there as it Adhamma, a reality. Dhamma works its way. No one can do anything because in truth, no one at all. That's why Buddha taught about each reality, different citta by different cetasikas arising together and so on. The more we learn about the truth, the more understanding, it's a more letting go of the idea and the clinging to that as something or someone. See how long it has been accumulated? Uncountable years and years and years. So in order to have it all gone, how long it will take until what is there in life? No doubt about the truth. But it has to be the moment of direct experience only. The third round, vipassana, many degrees from the first, the second, the third to the Mahavipassana and so on. It has to be understanding by condition instantly of what is there as anatta. So begin to understand the Dhamma. It's Dhamma, different Dhamma. No matter what it appears, it has conditions to be there. In that very moment, by conditions, whether it's strong attachment or strong aversion, by condition. Otherwise, how can it let go the idea of self? It has to be whatever is there. It's a reality. Even thinking about it is not yet in a day, right? That is just a reality. And before it can be directly understand what is there now as it is, hardness only there, see, not that which experience it. That's why it has to be realized what we said, the reality which experience the object as it does not appear yet. How can it be realized? That which has no shape and form at all, but just arises an experience. It cannot be any kind of something appear in the world. Even it's there, it's not known until hearing, considering about that which is now not I, but the reality which sees. Just see and then gone. So begin to understand the nature of the reality which arises to experience the object, no matter what kind, what characteristic, what nature which appears. Even if the ignorance now is not known, see, but it's there until it's known. Until it's known is so very, very difficult. Ignorance, see, until the reality which arises and experiences shows up, then any kind of that which you experience, no matter that which does not understand the truth, is there as a reality. So when one is asked, what is seeing right now? See, what is the ignorance, unknown, that is a reality which does not understand the reality of seeing. So just listen to the truth carefully, consider it carefully, begin to have understanding of the truth, not just belief, and understanding that even there is right understanding of the nature of the characteristic of that which appears, but it's only learning in words only. So when it's that not in word, because it shows up as it's just that, as it is, no word. So understand even the moment of thinking in word and seeing different moments. Just develop the understanding gradually. It develops, who knows, like touching the handle's knife. Just one moment, it's not enough. Until it appears that it's worn away. How much? Very little or so much to be known. And it's much more difficult than touching the knife's handle. How big? How long?
We don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
We just know it's long.
Yeah. But the understanding at that moment, see, there is a reality which is not the chief of experience that we say citta, we call it citta. It is sati, not forget what has been learned. It's there ready to condition moment of thinking about it, because usually in a day People think about many things, not of the truth that has been heard, until it's there. Not forget that it's there. It's just a reality. Each moment now is so precious because it is its way to develop understanding, to understand the anatterness. So it suddenly appears as anatta unexpectedly. Even right now, what is there arises unexpectedly, but no thought about it at all. That's why each word is panya parami, not enough.
I think for me, Achan, there's quite a lot of attachment to listening to the Dhamma, that it feels good to have this knowledge. So there is a lot of me in there, a lot of me liking what I'm hearing, but also seeing the wonderfulness of it, that it's the truth.
And that is panya which knows. See, without panya, how can it be known?
Well, it can't be.
So panya understands whatever is there as it is, little by little. And that's the moment of letting go. No other moment at all. It's the moment of understanding the truth firmer and firmer.
Mm. Thank you so much, Achan. Thank you.
My pleasure. I appreciate everyone's understanding because it's so very deep.
Yes, Azita, I think it's truthfulness too, appreciating that it's not just moments of understanding, but many moments of clinging as well. So many different dhammas. So that's the development of Satchaparami as well, being truthful to what is there. And it doesn't matter. It's just the way it is. It's conditioned. And as you say, okay, well, it's going to take a long time. And as Sally said, but we don't have to think how and when, because just moment by moment, that's all. Otherwise, it's just waste of time and energy and more clinging when one's trying to think about how long. And one point that you brought up last time or the time before when there was a discussion about Paccaya and Paccayapana. So we know the seeing now is conditioned, Paccayapana. It's conditioned by different Paccaya, as Ajahn said. The visible object has to have arisen. The eye sense has to have arisen. Karma has to condition the seeing to see a pleasant or unpleasant object. So many different Paccaya dharmas condition one dharma, which is the conditioned dharma, Paccayapana. And that dharma in turn, the seeing in turn, is Paccaya for other dharmas. It's a condition for all the cetasikas that arise with it, and so on and so on. So each dharma is conditioned Paccayapana and condition for others, Paccaya. And as I recall, you were mentioning about the function of different dhammas, like the function of sanya, to mark and remember. And you were asking whether the function is paccaya, but the function is just the function of a dhamma. So when we're talking about dhammas conditioned, like seeing now or hearing now, and dhammas which condition other dhammas, we're not talking about the functions. So the function of seeing is to see, but the seeing is conditioned, and the seeing conditions other dhammas.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
functions are one thing, they're different rasa. So each chitta, each cetasika has its own particular function, but also each one is conditioned and conditions. So, and I think as Jan has mentioned, only by understanding different dhammas can there gradually be a little more understanding of the conditioned nature. It's impossible to understand anything about conditions without understanding the dhammas. People just say, oh, what arises in life is conditioned. If I have a good experience today, that's a result of karma. But it's just a conventional idea. It's not actually any understanding of karma pachya, or what tastes good is a result of, living in a plentiful country. But again, just conventional ideas. So without understanding dhammas, we can't actually understand anything about conditions, pachya and pacchyupanna dhammas. So that's why it always comes back to understanding the dhammas, and gradually, by understanding dhammas, there can be more consideration about the different conditions for those dhammas to arise and how they condition others in many different ways. Like last time, Ajahn was referring in passing to hetu pachya. So the kusala and akusala that Sali mentioned, each moment of kindness, each moment of anger, and so on, are conditioned by different roots, different hetus. The akusala roots are lobha, dosa, and moha, and the kusala roots are alobha, adosa, and panya. So each moment of kusala, each moment of akusala is conditioned by different hetu. So gradually we just learn a little more about different pachya, and the purpose is just to understand how there really is no one here, as Sali said, just different namas and rupas. So how can the kusala or akusala belong to anyone when there is no one?
Very good.
So all the little intricate details are not for the sake of remembering names and terms and book learning, but to understand a little deeper about life now. And I appreciated all your points and your the way you understand the great value in listening and considering further and further, not for learning terms or stories, but to really understand more about the truth now.
Yeah. Thank you.
No matter where we are, no matter how life goes, no matter good or bad, there are always just dhammas to be understood at this moment. And that is truly wonderful and amazing, as you've said. Life is always just this moment.
It is, yes. Yes. So thank you, Sarah. Much appreciated.
And I'm glad to see Gillian is here again today. Hi, Gilly. Good to see you,
Yes,
Gillian.
Sarah, I think back to the understanding as well. This morning, we have been discussed and reflect, among friends as well in terms of what changed in our life, after the hearing of Dhamma. And it reflects that, people compared to the past 5-6 years ago, where we haven't heard anything. One thing which come out very obvious is that the panatipata. When people see mosquito, ant, or small insect, in the previous year, we seem to be so skillful, by smashing, and harming those insects. But after many years and years, and now we do the reflection, it seems to be no one has forced anyone, not to do something, but when we hear about the Dhamma, we know that those insects, also have the khandas. They want to survive and all of that. And when we do reflection, it seems to be it completely changed. Now, no one, willing to kill or harm, even those small insect at all. This is, come out very obvious, and we reflect that. There's a really understanding. No one forced it. No one, really actually trying to do it. But when we understand it, we avoid it very easily. It's not under control of oneself, but when we have panya, when we have the understanding of that, akusala, then we the understanding avoided by itself. So this is so powerful, and as Chan mentioned, it require a lot of patience, a lot of virya, for people to be patient to see the result. If one want to force it and want to see the result immediately, it might not be, realistic. Yeah.
Yes, I think good point, Sally. The panya works its way. It's like with children, you can, however much you tell them, don't harm the insects, don't do this, don't do that. But without understanding, sometimes they don't because they don't want to get into trouble. But then when no one's looking, they will harm them because no understanding. So without understanding, it's useless. It's just following rules temporarily. But it's just for a short time, and then the tendency will come out again.
Well, I do. Yes. On the other hand, there can be other reasons for having better sila, such as fear of an unhappy rebirth that one learns about when one becomes interested in the Dhamma. So whether it's panya or whether it's just another kind of thinking, perhaps not even kusala, will depend on the situation. One can't make any assumption about that. Better sila is also something that can be found outside the teaching of the Buddha. And so it would be good to consider what it is that is unique to the Buddha's teaching that has brought any change as far as one can tell. Perhaps something to reflect on. I'm not asking that as a question. Thanks for your comments, Sally. Appreciate it.
Just one comment, John, and I think Sally brought it up, that knowing that the insects have there's khandas as well, insects. So I think insects, spiders, all of those ants in the garden, whatever. I find myself sometimes talking to them, which is a bit crazy, I know, but treating the insects as similar to us is how I look at them. So, yeah, that's all I want to comment on.
Right. But one doesn't have to know about the 5 khandas in order to appreciate that animal beings have consciousness and similar emotions. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Azita. Right.
Thank you, Sally.
Yeah, thank you. And also one of the the other friend, I think it's quite similar when I listen to one of the clip when Achan, John and Sarah visit Vietnam. There was a question that what's in it for me to listen and study Dhamma, given that even those I understand Dhamma because of the non-self, nothing gain. I also happened to talk to one of our friends during the exercise as well. He mentioned that I believe that even those I study Dhamma, nothing will gain, from the study of Dhamma or from the, listen of Dhamma. I think it's so I asked him that, if you study Dhamma in expectation of gaining wealth, I think it's a wrong perception already. Because I believe that study Dhamma or understanding Dhamma is about reducing, get away or abandon, something. But if one, try to study Dhamma in the expectation of the gaining wealth or gaining something, I think it might be the wrong path. So, yeah, because when we understand something, I think we tend to spill out the ignorance and reduce the ignorance, reduce the akusala, in our, self, rather than expect to gain something from that. So, and also, hear the, the advice from Sarah, Ajahn and Jonathan, explain in the session in Vietnam. It's very helpful as well. I think it's if one can think that nothing can gain from studying Dhamma, but if one live with the ignorance, I think it's very hard to have the ignorance understand the ignorance. So yeah, so this is my take from that.
Yes, I think as Zita said, well, the attachment, the expectations are bound to be there. So, of course, when listening, considering, there are going to be so many different realities, moments of kusala, moments of akusala, as usual, ignorance as usual, attachment as usual. But I think just at this moment, the purpose of just understanding a little more about the truth now, a little more letting go of the idea of I, of someone, of something, of control of any kind, because the Dharma now is conditioned. So expectation now is conditioned, ignorance now is conditioned, seeing is conditioned, hearing is conditioned. If there are conditions for seeing now or considering what is said, then it's so useful. If there are conditions for ignorance now, it's just the way it is, each one gone. So no one can decide to come here, go there, do anything, because each moment of seeing, each moment of thinking, each moment of understanding or ignorance has to be the way it is. And if for your friend it seems nothing is gained, it's just a moment of thinking. There can be thinking now, oh, it's not useful, just for a moment. And next moment there can be thinking, oh, that was a good point, so precious. So just different moments, no matter here or no matter when you're sitting together having coffee or any other time.
And I think another point to make is that some people who have an idea about the Dhamma, maybe of eradicating unwholesomeness and that sort of thing, and that's their characterization of development of the path, and have difficulty seeing the relevance of why talking about this moment of seeing or hearing. For them, they cannot make the connection, and so that may prompt the question or the comment about wondering what other people see as the gain in studying the Dhamma.
Please excuse me, Tanajan. On hearing about Pachaya, the conditions, what more and more, very gradually happens is it gets the anatta-ness. There is no self. slowly this becomes firmer and firmer. Would you please elaborate on that a bit, Tanajan? Thank you.
So what about daily life? Does it apply to any moment? What appears as pleasant and unpleasant moment? To understand the truth, just naturally, the way it is, begin to be aware by conditions. See, so at moment of whatever appears now, when there's not condition at all, how can there be moment of directly understand the truth of the characteristic, not the word, but the characteristic of that which appears as different ones? For example, hardness is not that which experience hardness. So right understanding is there. Begin to understand. It has to be that very moment for understanding to begin to develop very gradually, even just at that moment. It's sati, not anyone, which is aware, quite different from when there's no understanding. Because now we can press on hardness with no understanding at all, or try to understand it. But it's different from moment when understanding is there as it's a reality, not in word, but it begins to attend to the characteristic, which is not the finger or not pen or anything at all, but it's that which appears. No word whether it's hard at all or cool, not thought about. But the reality begins to appear to be object of attention to the truth, little by little, naturally. So it has to be so natural. When there is attachment, just very little, only Panya can know. It's there. That's why the moment of letting go of attachment at that very moment, it's the moment of understanding the characteristic which is attached to that. See, gradually, unexpectedly, whatever is there to develop. Naturally, little by little, so very little. That's why when there are conditions more, it can appear more. But no expectation that it has to be like this on and on, because there can be other conditions to cover up the truth. No thought about it as it is thought about right now. All depends on how much accumulation of all kinds of kusala and akusala ready to condition that which is appearing to be known or not to be known. Anatta is the truth of whatever is there, to be firmer and firmer. Understanding of what is there is not anything. It's there just very shortly, only when there is moment of attending to the characteristic which is there, and then gone. All the way is the way to let go of what has been accumulated as something atta until no atta at that very moment, gradually, one by one, little by little, deeper and deeper. That's all. That's the way to be firm confidence of anatta and of the truth. There's no one. So many tests of understanding to be known, whether it's there or not. Understanding of what level, thinking, considering, or understanding, or realizing. So little by little, alternately, unknown, unexpected, even right now. It has to be right now. Unexpected reality is there. depending on whether there are conditions to be aware and understand it or not. So natural, so very gradual, and it is so sharper and sharper, keener and keener, firmer and firmer. Panya knows.
When with the moment of just the fundamental bit about how all dharmas arise by conditions. There's no self, is absolutely fundamental. And then slowly, bit by bit, drop by drop. Because when in the moment, with the moment, and that's a lifetime. But when it's something, then nothing, then something, then it's just lifetime after lifetime of ignorance. And of course, by lifetime, I'm referring to specifically the present moment.
So when it's time for reality to appear as it is, it depends on how very, very slowly understanding develops. It cannot be so high understanding, great understanding, clear understanding of what is there, all there, but only a moment, very shortly. And when it's so weak, it is not as when it's so sharp. But the object is the same. So it depends on courage to let Dhamma works its way, no matter whether it's now or then or not at all. All are Dhammas, the test of how much understanding of letting go the Atta. That's why Panya does not deceive. It's so true. How much understanding. And what about now? See, what about now? When it's at high level of Panya, what about now is different from what about now when it's not yet developed.
Initially, so much fear because all this concretist, conventional ignorance type of reality is stepping in a way out into something insubstantial. No self, it's not real, life one moment to moment, the table, it's just a concept and so on. So at the very beginning level, fear, but gradually over time that has subsided into the embrace of truth, of just being ultimately knowing this, set free from a huge burden.
Yeah, so it's right understanding which knows whether no clinging to understand the truth, but understanding the benefit, the preciousness of understanding condition moment of more hearing and more considering, more careful about the words of the truth. By conditions, see, begin to understand. Even when it appears no word about by conditions, because it's there by condition. Show up as it's there by conditions. No expectation about what is there before at all. Whether it's understood, as what we said, or not yet, depending on conditions.
Thank you most kindly, Tanajan.
Patience, parami, kanti parami. And it has to be also in daily life to show the shade of parami in their daily life or not. Unlimited metta. All depends on Panya only. Nothing can understand the truth. It works its way by its nature, by its characteristic.
Thank you, Ajahn, and everyone.